Hello, welcome back to our channel, the Mauro. Thank you very much for following us, guys. If you have not subscribed yet, then please do so. It is very important for us, and we always like to see your comments below after our videos or during your time when you see something interesting. Today we're going to show you something extraordinary, something really cool. If guys, you are romantic, or if girls, who bake pizzas at home or at your restaurant, then this is going to be something, really unique, something a bit different, yet also fantastic. The pizza is going to be contemporary, or pizza contemporanea, using the Italian word. And of course, we're going to change it a little bit. We're going to put our little touches, little extras into it. The base, the dough, will be made with Poolish, and then all the exquisite and extraordinary stuff will be coming after. But let's walk through very quickly the basic recipe, which we've already done before. I just made a little bit of changes and a little bit of adjustment to it, so we can simplify it and then make it or bake it at home or in your restaurant. So come with me. So as you see, to make the most romantic pizza with 100% Poolish. Yes, most romantic. Why do we say romantic? You know what's coming up in February? Valentine's Day. Yes, that's why you see all these red hearts over here, because we're going to be very romantic. We're going to try to impress our loved ones. So, but to cut the crap and to make the pizza perfect, first we're going to make the pre-dough, we're going to make the Poolish. And for that, we're going to need on the W marker the strength of 280 flour, which will be used from the brand Caputo. I'm going to use Caputo Nuvola for this one. So we're going to use 1000 grams of flour, 1000 grams of cold water, 6 grams of fresh yeast, 10 grams of honey. Not much to think about it. Put everything together in a container, mix it up well so it's all homogeneous. After that, seal it airtight, either with a lid or plastic wrap. Leave it outside the room temperature for 1 hour, and later on refrigerate it for 18 hours before we make the pizza dough. Very simple, straightforward, but enough of the talk. Come on, let's make this pre-dough together. All right, very simple, very easy. So, ordinary plastic box, anything you can use. You can use a mixing bowl as well if you want to, what you can later on seal with a plastic wrap, or just as I said, a container or a box with a lid that you can after that close airtight. So basically just placing all the flour, which is exactly 1000 grams, inside the box. Fresh yeast, just crumbling it there. Don't need to dissolve it in the water or anything like that. Adding the honey and then the water. You can put all the water in at the same time. Don't need to add it gradually. And then what we're going to do basically, it's very simply just stir it and mix it well together. Make sure that you keep an eye out for the edges of the container. You scrape off all the dry parts, all the dry bits, and make sure that the whole dough is going to be nice and homogeneous. So there will be no dry lumps, no dry bits inside. So once we are done with the mix, just very simply put the lid on top, place it on the side, leave it there for 1 hour, as I said it, and then after that, 18 hours into the fridge before we're gonna make our dough, before we're gonna make our pizzas. So that's it for now. Leave it to rest, and then shall come back tomorrow, and then we will make a pizza. So the Poolish was in the fridge for about 18.5 hours. Just removed it now. So let's see what does it smell like. Let's actually find out and see how it goes. Oh, it's very nice, fluffy, beautiful, fruity smell. Great. It's exactly what you need to look for. Nice, fruity, not too acidic, not too sour. You don't want that, because in that case the fermentation, the pre-fermentation went wrong somewhere. So nice, fruity. You can smell a bit of acid there, but the sourness, but it has to be nice, and a bit sweet as well. Now, how are we gonna make this? We got the flour, we got the oil, we got the salt, and of course the pre-dough, the Poolish. And then comes the secret. Why it's romantic? It's gonna be Valentine's Day. Well, you will see, we're gonna use some food coloring. We're gonna dye this dough. I'm gonna make it look red. So it's gonna be really, really cool. And as the pre-dough has been made, we need to finish it, and we need to make our real pizza dough. And for that reason, we need to refresh it. The water content we want to set to about 70%. So I'm gonna put for the hydration 70% roughly, which means that for this quantities of flour, I need to add an additional 450 grams of flour. We will be using the same, so exactly kapun tonnuvola will be, our refreshing flour, also with W280 marker. And then for that, we use 3% of salt, and we're gonna add 3% of extra virgin olive oil to it as well, because we will be using electric oven. In case if you would be using a gas-fired oven, I suggest to add olive oil also into your dough. If you would be using a wood-fired oven, then you can skip it. You don't need it because it's a totally different environment. So, refreshment, flour, and then the salt at the end, and of course the extra virgin olive oil at the end, and then the magic will be the red food color. So the red food color can vary depending on the country, depending on the origin where you buy it from. Sometimes you can a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. I always say that the desired color what you want, that's where you adjust it, because the hydration, it's 70%. And we're only talking about a couple of milliliters of the food coloring, or if it's powder based, then it's just a couple of grams. So it's not going to damage the structure at all. It's only adding a little bit of, fun to it. So that will not affect our recipe at all. But enough of crap, let's make some pizza. First of all, we're gonna place the flour into the machine. Then we will add all the Poolish. I'm lucky because in this spiral mixer I can remove the base as well, so it'll be easier to add. At this point everything could look familiar, since it looks exactly the same like we've done it before, so you don't need to think too much about it. We're starting on a low speed, and then just let's make the magic happen. At this quantity, usually it takes about 7 to 9 minutes to make the dough. Very easy, very, very straightforward. It's gonna make a very simple, very easily handled dough. If you look at the water content and you have done the math properly, then we should be somewhere around 69.5 to 70% on the water content. So the hydration is about 70% roughly. It's a very easily manageable dough. I actually really do like it. It makes a beautiful, nice and fluffy structure at the end. So the time when we add the salt to it, we can see that the dough is coming very well together. Let it just work itself. Make sure that the salt comes and absorbs very well into the dough. You don't add any extra water at this time. Just want the natural humidity to help. And increase the speed a little bit. And once the salt is already in, we can add the olive oil as well. And this is the stage when we're gonna do the real magic. So, red food coloring. I don't want to spray it on my white jacket. And go nice and gently. Gradually, we will see how the dough will become red. Then check, if it's not dark enough, you can add a little bit more color always into it. And adjust to your desire. Bam. Beautiful. Nice red. Ooh, very sexy. So, guys, I can always say it's love is in the air. Fantastic. Now, as the usual stuff, move the dough, put it straight out onto the counter. Wow, look at that. Beautiful. So the story is exactly the same like we did before. Little oil on the hand, little oil on the dough. Looks funny, huh? Look at it. A little bit of olive oil on the top, and then business is the same as usual. Portioning put them into the containers, leave them to rest, fridge, outside as it was before. So you know the drill already. Very easy, straightforward. So you don't need to be scared, you know, it's not coloring your hands, it's not coloring your skin anymore. The dough will hold the paint, so no drama. So, rightio folks, we are ready. You know, we portioned our pizza balls. Now, as I said before, the drill is the same. You can leave it outside on room temperature for 1 hour and then refrigerate it and keep it in the fridge for 4 to 8 hours and then use it for service, of course, or just bake it at home as usual. Or ideally, you can leave it out at room temperature for about 2–2.5 hours and it's going to be ready to rumble. So the decision is yours. And I'll see you just now, and we're gonna make some fantastic pizzas. Until then, I'm gonna hop off for a drink. So, hello guys, welcome back. Look at these bad boys. Whoa. Nothing to say here. Just let's bake some bloody pizzas. Looks fantastic, looks amazing. And we're getting romantic. Special as a Valentine's Day present. If you don't know what to do for your better half, well, this is exactly the idea what you should. Parmesan cheese, some basil leaves, mozzarella, and then I'll show you the trick, I'll show you the magic. So, spatula, cut, look at the gist, okay? And then try to make it into a shape of a heart. Yep. It's a little bit, you can maybe cut a little bit more, and then pull a little bit. I must say I'm not a very artistic person myself, but if you're better with creativity and crafts, well, then you're gonna be more successful. Well, it's got a shape of the heart, you know. You'll need to use sometimes maybe your imagination a little bit as well, but the idea is there. And you know exactly what and how to do. You can see the crust is elevating beautifully. You know, the airs are coming, you know, the cornichon, the actual crust on the pizza, it's really well working, you know. Temperature is over 450 degrees Celsius, so we need to make sure that, you know, for the fact that we want to have a contemporary pizza, the temperature has to be over 450 at this time. We're really on the limit what the oven can take, but it's gonna be okay. Very good. And as you see, you know, the pizza exactly what we want. You know, if you can hear it, you know, it's still crunchy and soft inside. If I take a scissors, I will cut it up. I'll show you just now in 1 second. You will see exactly the bubbles. You will see the air holes there. You know, it's fantastically came together. And now just to finish, for the final touch, we use the same thing as I always say, something which is not Italian, yet it's British, Maldon sea salt. It helps you to elevate the flavors of the cheese, the tomato, the basil. It just brings everything together. So just little nice, easily season it. It will melt very easily, very quickly. And then a couple of basil leaves just to finish up. A touch of extra virgin olive oil. And you're ready for Valentine's Day. All right, so let's see, the magic where it happened. So of course, we don't damage the side, cut it very easily. Wow, look at that. Wow. Look at these air bubbles there. Wow, it's amazing. Also, if you look on the other side, it does the job exactly just for you in the same way. Beautiful, nice, airy. You see, Poolish, guys, either with bigger, either with Poolish, you can make it. Today's choice for me was Poolish because it was easier to handle. If you don't have a high-speed spiral mixer, and if you want to make your dough just by hand, Poolish will be available for that job just the same way like you would be doing it ordinary with a direct dough. Yet with Poolish, you can really make a real contemporary pizza. So, I don't think there's anything else to say about it. Just need to taste this pizza. So. It's beautiful. Perfect. And if you have the luck, you have the joy, and being hungry for the time of Valentine's Day, you know exactly what to do. Come visit us in our restaurant, because if you don't want to bake it, yet you want to eat it, you have the choice and you have the opportunity. Because in that case, on the 14th of February, I shall be seeing you at the Mauro in Ex.v. Until then, guys, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.